Well, good morning, good afternoon, good night. I'm grateful you hanging out with me yet again today with Wisdom on Wednesdays. And I'm Ray. I'm very appreciative of all your support, very appreciative of your feedback and your comments. I'm very happy that you're subscribing and you're liking the videos and you're sharing your videos. We appreciate that. So a hearty thank you to all of you. Thank you to all of our new subscribers. Thank you for all those who are liking the videos and sharing comments. We appreciate that. That helps us grow. The more you comment, the more you actually exchange and interact with the video, it helps it get to a larger reach. So I appreciate all the things you've been doing thus far for Wisdom on Wednesday. I've been praying last couple of days actually about a topic that will be not necessarily something that would be like a buzzword or something that would be catchy, but moreover something that many of us can really relate to, something that can encourage somebody who's struggling right now, or even help somebody that may not be struggling in this way, but may be able to encourage someone else. Recognize this. Wise people have often been frustrated because of the favor on their lives. Wise people have often been frustrated because of the favor on their lives. Now, I know many times people hear the word favor, derivative of favorite, or those who are usually picked out. But when you're picked out, normally you get picked on. Many people had scholastic accolades as young people, and they became the teacher's pet. They were the favorite, but their peers didn't appreciate the favor that the teacher showed you when you were young. Your peers didn't appreciate the time that your mother spent with you reading. You can enunciate, you know your consonants, you know your vowels. You were able to do high achievements. And it was good for what you went to school for, but it wasn't comfortable for you amongst your peers. And many times, that's not just an issue with people that are in their childhood. Some of us have been on jobs. Some of us have been in places of responsibility. And the favor that's on our life, or those things that God has put in us, He's given us some innate leadership skills. He's given us some strong instincts that draws people to us or allows us to escalate, to go higher and farther than many other people. And unfortunately, friends, sometimes that favor breeds frustration, not just in people not understanding us, but frustration in the aspect is when you have skill, when you have ability, when you have things that come to you easily, you are asked to do more. Here comes the frustration part. Sometimes we can be on jobs and we can be in spaces where people ask us to do things that aren't in our job description. People can ask us to do things that aren't necessarily things we're getting paid for. But I'm reminded of a scripture that says, everything you do, work unto the Lord. Even if you're on your job and it seems like you're underappreciated, seems like you're overworked and you're underpaid, I want to remind you that the things that you do aren't necessarily for those people that you work for, and your reward may not come directly from those people. And I know it's frustrating because you're favored. Think of it this way. What if you're on a job and nobody ever asked you to do anything extra? What if you were on a job and people are always riding you and wondering why you weren't making the bill, why you weren't doing what you're supposed to do? But I want you to really consider favor. See, when you're favored, there's some things that happen to you, but there's some things that also help us remain humble. You know, we have a proclivity to get a little bit an extended view of ourselves when we know we have gifts, when we know we have ability, when we know we can get things done at the waking hour, the last hour. I know I have a clan of procrastinators and we can do a lot of things in a short amount of time. And sometimes that allows us to get the big head and makes us think that we can always do anything that we're asked. And that's favor, that God's given you a know-how. He's given you an ability to complete tasks. He's given you an ability to focus. See, in today's age, 2024, many people don't have the ability to focus. Our minds are bombarded with all types of social media information. Our minds are bombarded with children. There are things they got going on at school, what types of goals we have, what type of businesses we want to set. So our minds are full of all types of information. So if you have the ability, let's just call it favor, you have an innate gift to be able to focus, to be able to put your mind to something and achieve that thing and make that thing come to pass will bring frustration. You see, your gift will make room for you and put you in the presence of great men. But if you have not realized that your gift is something that God gave you, you will remain frustrated because you may be looking for things from people that people can't give you. The gifts that God give us are things that will bring glory to him and will make people not understand us because it came from God. It will make people envious of you and jealous of you because you have something that they wish for, something that they aspire to have. You have something that they wish they had. You have something that many people are jealous of because you've been given an ability and you've been given a talent. And because you exercise your talent and you exercise your ability, it brings favor. But oftentimes, favor lines up with frustration. I'm reminded of the Apostle Paul. In the Bible, it says that he prayed 3 times that the Lord would remove a thorn from him. A thorn, something that was so debilitating to him, something that was so hard for him to get over, because he remembered all the things that were so easy for him to do for other people. He was able to pray for other people. He was able to encourage other people. He was able to help people get over things they were going through, to introduce people to Jesus. But isn't that weird, wise friends, that some of the things that are the most easy for you to encourage somebody else, it's the favor that God gave you, but it's frustrating for you. When you want to come home and encourage yourself, it's difficult because you have all these other things to do. When you want to tell somebody how to trust the Lord, you're still struggling, trying to figure out how you're going to trust the Lord. You see what I mean? So God gave Paul an amount of favor on his life that he saw things that a normal man shouldn't be able to see. But he said he gave him something. He gave him a gift, a thorn, something that was painful, something that was frustrating, something that was nagging. But ultimately, that frustration allowed him to stay humble because he was favored. You see how this works together, wise friends? Sometimes we have to have frustration to keep us humble because of the favor that's on our lives. There are some things that we won't be able to handle in our own mind, in our own depraved nature, but God designs and aligns frustrations to align with our favor so we can stay at a space where we'll be humble. We'll continue to be able to walk into a room. Our heads won't be so big because of how many tasks we can amass, how many things that come easy to us. Some of us can sit down at a computer and we can figure most things out. There's some people that can get up under a car and they can figure most things out. Some people don't have any issues raising their children until they become teenagers. But some of us have an innate ability that we can do things that other people wish they can do. But God knows us best. He has to give us something that will frustrate us, that will keep us on bending knee, depending on him, to always know that it's him who gives the increase, that it's not us. It's not our ability. It's the ability that he gave us. So wise friends, when we find ourselves frustrated, when we find ourselves in a space where we're wondering why things are happening to us and are happening in the manner in which they're happening, I want to leave you with this. Recognize that God continues to grow us. And in order for us to grow, we have to be in uncomfortable situations. None of us will grow when all of the circumstances around us are easy. Nobody grows in an easy situation. Nobody grows when everything is easy peasy. The only way you study is if you want to retain that information and you want to pass the test. So all of us are being tested to get to the next level. But in order to get tested, we have to be in a space where we're going to grow. And sometimes when we're growing, our opportunities have to first be introduced by opposition. And those oppositions can come from inside our minds. Some of our oppositions can come in our insecurities. Some of our oppositions can come from people who just don't understand us. So I want us to not be in a space where we're just despondent and upset and just frustrated at the world. Sit back sometimes. Listen to what the Lord is saying in this season. God, why am I so frustrated? I know you have favor on my life. I know you've opened doors. I'm in a job that I prayed for. Thank you, God, but I'm frustrated. Help me understand why I'm so frustrated. And the Spirit of the Lord revealed to you, you're only frustrated because of the favor on your life, and you're growing in your favor. But in order for you to grow, there must be some opposition. So everything's not going to come easy just because you're favored. Nothing's going to come to you that's valuable, that's going to come quick. Sometimes you have to wait and trust God's timing over what you want in your flesh, because we want things quick. We want things fast. We want things easy, but there's no growth in easy. There's no growth in fast. There's no growth in quick. Some of the best meals that you'll ever have will come in a slow cooker. Some of the food that will put you to sleep are things that come in the oven that got to stay 2 or 3 hours. Some of the best times you'll have in your life is just sitting around with loved ones and talking for hours and hours and hours, and it'll put your mind at peace. But unfortunately, favored friends, we have to be at a space of trusting the season that we're in and not being frustrated because the season that we're in is not good enough for the season that we dream about. Because if you're dreaming too much about the season of tomorrow, you're going to miss out on what God is teaching you today. So, wise friends, that's my word for today. I want you to be encouraged while you're frustrated, because you just might be frustrated because you have favor on your life. I pray this blessed you and it encouraged you. And don't give up on what God has put inside of you, because while He's growing you, there may be some opposition because you can't grow if everything's easy. Have yourself a wonderful day. I want you to continue to subscribe, continue to like and share this video. Tell your friends about it. Tell your coworkers about it. And we appreciate your time spent on Wisdom on Wednesdays with Ray. Have a blessed day. God bless.